One of the things that we learned quickly was that our customers don't care about data. Each farmer using our tools gets assigned a credit score. They can borrow against this credit score. These are things that are live, that actually make an impact today within the agriculture economy in Kenya. Oh, success is we have paying customers and revenue. That's very important for us. And two is we have 3,000 farmers using our
What does it take to build data and space systems that create real impact? We explored this at the Global Data Festival and the Kenya Space Expo conference. 3,000 farmers currently using the platform with paying customers and revenue, all while navigating the realities of building and scaling complex systems. This is Inside the Build with Antugrow.
Brian Amani on stage to talk about his journey as a COO of Antugrow, a Chief Operating Officer. Is that accurate? Okay. Please clap for him as he comes on stage. So he'll talk about what it takes to build what he's actually building and what it is he's actually building. And then he'll set the tone for the panelists to come on stage to understand this particular session and how do we go about building more of what Brian is doing. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you. Hey, nanipea basic kitu. Okay. So we started working on Antugrow maybe 4-ish years ago. And back then it was a research project in agriculture. And we have continuously met with data. It is our primary business. We are an Agri-Data intelligence company. We are not an agri-tech. We are not an agrovet. We don't sell inputs. We are primarily a data company. And one of the things that we learned quickly was that our customers don't care about data. They do not care about data. As a matter of fact, they don't even care about information. They care about value. That's the first thing they care about. Then the second thing they care about, that they don't know they care about, is perceived value. So what they think is valuable. Not what is truly valuable, what they think is valuable. And our business has been iterating through, okay, data, then data becomes some good information, then we hope that information becomes value, then we hope that these people perceive it as value and they pay us money. And I would want to talk us through that journey. So our first real product, when I say real product, it means product that had a good UI, that had a backend, that you could type something in and it works, was Antugrow Farm Advisor. Okay? An Antugrow Farm Advisor was essentially a tool to help farmers understand what to grow, where, when, how to grow it efficiently, get the right intelligence using EO, like as complex as possible, down to the T, their pH, the pH of their soil, their clay content, the soil moisture, the climatic conditions, a planting calendar, all that. And I want to show that to you. So I don't know if we can switch over to my laptop here. Okay. See, my laptop is doing a thing. It's doing the thing here, so I'm hoping the thing gets transferred there. It has not yet. It's not my fault, guys. I'm just doing my best. But as it comes up, you will realize that while Antugrow Farm Advisor was really good at its function, providing the advisory, it was not very good for the user. So this is Antugrow Farm Advisor here. So how it works is you come, you type in a location. So you can give me a location anywhere in the world. Madagascar. Where in Madagascar? Antananarivo. Okay. Pick a location in Madagascar. So let's find somewhere where it's green. Is this a football field? Perfect. So I'll select this football field as somewhere I could grow something because there's ground underneath. And what would you like to grow in Madagascar? Rice. On a football field, okay. Let's see. So then this will do a search. It will take an image of the location, do a bunch of computation versus our data sets for Africa versus whatever you're seeing from space, and give you an answer to your question. So this platform is still live, but it's somewhat deprecated, so it is difficult to find. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I will show you how it works. So right now it's processing the results. So this platform, as I said, was very complex. And we have with time found a more standard way of making it easy for our customers to interact with our products. And I will move, it's ready. So this is the report that you get, right? This is the part that is interesting to people that are in this room. You know, you're seeing many numbers, it's green, it's blue, it's yellow, you're seeing ranges. You go to your climate analysis, you see ranges as well. You see like a decision matrix over here, you come and see a recommendation, so you see like generated information, etc, 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 etc. So very good for the people in this room. Terrible for a farmer, because then, okay, so now I have a report, what am I going to do with this? Okay, so if you can switch back to the slides, I will now begin my actual presentation with that context. Okay, so it's telling me 2 seconds. So the context I was laying here is, even as we end at the point where we'll end the session and you ask questions, please avoid asking me technical questions. Because technical questions are not going to get us anywhere. Technical questions are going to show our mental prowess, they're going to show we are really good at what we do and all that. You're going to get answers about models and complexity, and you'll go home and feel very good and become a better researcher, better developer. But if you're really talking about builder journeys, and you're talking about serving our consumers, we really need to ask practical questions. Because practical, you can always go and become better technically, right? Or doing your own research outside of here. But practical questions are actually going to lead us closer to the solutions that you're looking for. So, Antugrow is a business on a mission to help farmers make more money by having better harvests, by having fewer losses and more income. And we're looking at doing this by solving 3 challenges that farmers face. And these 3 challenges, so let me find my clicker. Where's my clicker? Did I put it in the pocket? Yes, I did. I hope I can remember how to use this thing. Okay. Oh, let me go back. I'm hoping everyone can see. If you can't, I'll just talk through it. We help farmers solve 3 problems. One is an information gap. An information gap that prevents them from knowing exactly what farm advisor was doing. Prevents them from knowing exactly what to do, where to do it on their farm, and how best to get the right yield. They have a financial gap. A financial gap meaning that even if they have the right information, they don't have enough money or the right kind of money or resources to get the right implements, to get the right input to put into the farm, which leads to a performance gap. A performance gap meaning they don't have the right harvest, or they're unable to foresee problems in the farm. And even when they foresee, they're unable to solve them because they don't have enough money. And this is a cycle. It could start anywhere. It could start from performance, becomes information, becomes financial, because from financial, it's a whole loop, and might be a web as well. So we looked at this problem and looked at ourselves, because I'm a data scientist. Eddie as well has worked in data science. He's a blockchain engineer, he's a software engineer. I've worked in sustainability. I worked in sustainability before I was here for like 6 years. And we were thinking about it and wondering, okay, what can we do with all this data that we have in our heads, all this information that we have in our heads, and actually make it practical for farmers? And so what we landed on was this. How can we use Earth observation data, verified farm data, to close this gap that farmers are facing, right? And with time, you'll see how this now becomes relevant to some of the stakeholders, or all of the stakeholders in this room. How can we give them the right agricultural advisory? How can we keep the right records? Because one of the primary problems, as you'll see, is that farmers don't keep records. They keep records in their head, they keep records on WhatsApp, they might keep records in Excel, but much like what this conference is about, there's a lot of data fragmentation. So that Excel sheet never gets to an agronomist, or that information from the agronomist never gets to the agrovet. There's a problem there. How can we warn them early when something is about to happen? How can we score them the right way? Because when you score them the right way, they are able to make better decisions, because there is it's not really a carrot at the end of the stick, but there is something to work towards. Okay, next one. Okay, so Antugrow started out with Antugrow Farm Advisor, which you've seen there, which is very complex. We now have one engine, which is called Smart Shamba Intelligence, that runs 3 platforms. One is Smart Shamba Search, a simplified version of what we had as Antugrow Farm Advisor. We have Smart Shamba Diary, which is essentially where all the magic happens for the farmer. And we have Shambani, which is where many of the stakeholders in this room live. This is where the financials live. This is where researchers live. This is where investors live. This is where policymakers live. So we'll go through this entire journey. I might use any of you as examples, so be ready to speak. It's not going to be you. We're going to talk to you. Okay, so let's start off with Smart Shamba Search. So think of Smart Shamba Search as your personal agronomy search engine for you as a farmer. It's a tool where you can go search anything. What do I want to grow? Do I want to keep cattle? Do I have a specific location in mind? How do I think about how I get water onto my farm? And while on the back end it is as complex as Antugrow Farm Advisor is, on the front end it surfaces results that are very easy for a farmer to understand. So let's look at, do you have an interest in agriculture? Maybe. Where are you from? Nakuru. So let's assume Nakuru in terms of where your land is. So I'll come back to my PC here. And timekeeper, please warn me, because I'm told sometimes I talk too much. I'm good. I have 5 minutes. Oh, yo. Okay. So some of that is because of the switching. But for simplicity, if you are to go to smartshamba.com right now on your phone, if you go to smartshamba.com, you'll see this interface here. So this interface will ask you, I want to grow something in somewhere. You'll input that data. You'll say, I want to irrigate. I'm going to get my water from rain. It's going to be mixed, or it's a greenhouse. And then you'll do a search. It's going to give you a suitability score based on the suitability index that we have on the back end. It's going to give you how much it's going to cost to get that crop into the ground and get started for like your first harvest. It's going to give you what pest and diseases to expect. It's going to give you what else you can grow as an alternative, and several other things. You can also get access to an agrovet, access to an agronomist. So what that does, it enables the farmer to know very soundly. So it's fine. We can go back. It enables the farmer to know what exactly they can do on the. Actually, oh no, let's not go back. We'll go to the diary after that. It's going to help the farmer know what exactly to do on their farm. This is a problem that many farmers face because they start their agriculture or they start their activity just because they have a fertile piece of land. Okay? So they start with a gap in information. And it is a gap that we can solve as the people who sit in this room, but for example, if you're in the university, a lot of that information sits inside of a repository in the library or in an archive somewhere. So that's how we surface this information. Yeah. So let's go to the second tool that we have, which is the Smart Shamba Diary. So Smart Shamba Diary is where now, after a farmer has decided that they are going to grow something, they can actually onboard their farm onto the platform and begin to do their activity, right? So if you look here, I have a bunch of farms. I have many farms here. Many of these I've onboarded over the past few days. There's a lot that is planted on these farms. You can see a crop calendar. So this doesn't have a crop calendar yet. You can see a crop calendar for many of the crops that you have there. You can keep records for all these crops, for all your blocks. For example, if I want to do a weeding, I can pick whichever farm I'm weeding on. I can assign it to somebody, and I can save the entry, and they will receive a notification that they have something coming up ahead if they're a farm manager, if they're a worker. I can do my financial record keeping. So because I was demonstrating to many at our booth, I am realizing my P&L is in the red because all of what I was recording was a cost. But this is a good demonstration of a farmer being able to know, okay, this is where I'm losing money, this is where I'm gaining money, and this is to the degree where they can tell which specific crop is causing a bleed in their farm. I can see all my farms. But what will be super interesting is if I come here to Smart Shamba Intelligence, I can engage with my farm and ask specific questions like, what is the cheapest input I use? Can I use it on all my farms? So this is not just an AI ChatGPT thing. It is something that we've built that is embedded. So this is what I was calling Smart Shamba Intelligence, and it's embedded into all our tools. And the cheapest and most beneficial input you can use is what? Is manure. So it's saying that looking at what I have right now, all my inputs are expensive, so the answer it's given me is I can switch to manure. I can use it across specific farms, so I have like 15 farms listed there, so it's chosen a few that I can use it on and what I can use it for. It knows at what stage or cycle, at what stage my crop cycles are, and it can customize this. I can go further and tell it to add this as a task or as a routine to my farm, or assign it to a specific person in my farm. So if we switch back to the slides. So what this does, it reduces the complexity of how we interpret data, how the farmer interprets it. It makes it valuable to the farmer and encourages them to have perceived value about our product. Okay? So they might never use everything that our intelligence gives, but the fact that they know they can use it is something they're willing to pay for, because we charge for our service. We're a for-profit organization. Let me just move to, okay. It's okay. It's okay. People want to listen, I hope. So this is what I was talking about. It turns your farm into an agentic intelligent platform. Okay? This is what I was talking about, Smart Shamba Intelligence. It knows your farm. But this section here is what is interesting. The next one is that each farmer using our tools gets assigned a credit score. They can borrow against this credit score, and anybody in this room can be a retail investor or a retail lender to our farmers. So you can give them whatever amount of money based on the amount of credit that they're asking for, based on their credit score, sorry. You can see how good they're performing from a farm perspective, and they're disbursed the money. You can disburse the money to them instantly, and they'll pay back at harvest, or on whatever payment plan that you two agree upon. So this is the dashboard that you guys will see if you are a lender, if you are an institution. So why does this all matter from a data perspective? So we see 5 key stakeholders that we work with. who are interested in each other, who right now, in many ways, for many people building in agri-tech, or for many people wanting to build within this space, are struggling to connect with each other. When we started off by building platforms. Antugrow Farm Advisor, Antugrow this, Antugrow Shambani, Antugrow that. We had platforms. Our platforms are not going to get anybody to pay us. Our platforms are not going to get anybody to get interested enough to even be a user, because they were trapped in what many other builders are trapped in the that developer mode. I want to build the best tool, the best something. And we realized what we actually need is infrastructure. An infrastructure that runs beneath the surface of what all these platforms do, that can be given to a user as an API, that can be given to a user as a dashboard, but more importantly, that can connect all the stakeholders. So in the story that I've told, for example, if the farmer is in the middle here, the farmer using Smart Shamba gets all the information, all the data that they need, turns it into value, becomes perceived value, they're able to pay us, we're able to make money. Okay? When they're ready, so that's what connects them to Antugrow. When they're ready, that's when they have a good credit score, Antugrow credit score, they can connect to a financier. We are embedded in traditional finance, so banks, SACCOs. We're embedded in the blockchain, so they can borrow stable coins. That's what allows the money to be dispersed instantly from anywhere, from anybody in the world. They are embedded in research, because remember, on the Smart Shamba the Smart Shamba Diary platform, agronomists, institutions, organizations like the University of Nairobi is one of our partners, are able to add data onto the platform that farmers can use. Farmers can instantly log that as a task, log that as something scheduled. They're able to read reports that agronomists have uploaded. So it becomes an information base. Data ecosystems, many of the people in this conference as well, ESA, where we get some of our data from Star Vision, who is one of our partners, KSA, who have been a long-standing partner, Geohabari, the people in this room from a data perspective, they're able to partner with the farmer more directly, because they are the source of information for our tools, and they're a source that they can use our dashboards for feedback. The policymakers, we have partnerships with the county government of Murang'a, for example. We have while Calro is a researcher, they're also within the policy space. We have partnerships with them and a dashboard through which they can receive all the value that the farmers are bringing, all the value that is coming from all these people, and see in real time what is happening within agriculture in Kenya. And companies like ourselves and other partners, let's say who? I don't know, maybe some of you will be our partners. I don't want to talk directly to some of our partners because of signing documents. But really what this does is platforms like us, or tools like ourselves, who are more infrastructure projects, who are more ecosystem projects, are able to create or close the loop in such a manner that all these people become connected to the farmer in a way that it was not possible before. And that should be my last, this is my last slide. A practical example is, one of the dashboards that we have is the farmer, while he's getting information in Smart Shamba Diary, the financier is seeing a map of the farm and all the data that they need. So this is, say, Equity Bank, to surface them a loan. And a policymaker sitting in the government, for example, is able to see how all farmers, so this is, for example, is a county, are able to see an aggregate score for all farmers, and real-time decision-making, our decision-making algorithm is able to tell them what sort of policies they can implement within the county. So these are things that are live. This is not stories ajaba. These are things that are live, that actually make an impact today within the agriculture economy in Kenya. So thank you for your time. I'm hoping that was pretty helpful. I don't know if Yariwo will have time for one or two questions, just so that it doesn't sound like I came and spoke.
Thank you so much. So one of the reasons why we thought we should start this session with an actual builder who's managed to connect all the key ecosystem players, identified them, and figured out how they work together. Amani, you forgot to mention your successes. I think you've managed to onboard a couple of them. Do you want to talk about your successes? Because that gives the panel the numbers, like a success story.
Oh, success is we have paying customers and revenue. That's very important for us. And two is we have 3,000 farmers using our platforms.